Liberals caught lying about moving expenses. I'm Brian Lilly with the Rebel.media. Last week it was all about high-priced moving expenses, $126,000 to move one family from Toronto to Ottawa. It's not anything that most Canadians could ever wrap their heads around spending, but in the rarefied air of Ottawa, I guess it made sense. Since then, we've had several Liberals step forward and say they will pay back part of their moving expenses that we, the taxpayers, have reimbursed them for. We're talking amounts in the 20s of thousands of dollars, and yet that's still only a drop in the bucket of what we've spent. But are we getting the truth when it comes to what we are really paying these people out for moving expenses? All of this started because of questions being asked, access to information questions, order paper questions, trying to find out how the government was wasting your tax money. Now, during one of the order paper question responses from the government, Citizenship and Immigration Canada claimed that they did not reimburse any exempt staff for relocation, for hotels, for airfare. And now we know that's not true. Meet Bernie Darrable. He is Director of Policy, Deputy Chief of Staff to Immigration Minister John McCallum. And according to documents that he sought reimbursement for, he was given half the cost of a flight from Bangkok in Thailand, where he was living, and Toronto, plus the flight from Toronto to Ottawa, plus moving expenses and living expenses while he was here in the nation's capital. That's right. So more than $3,000 for half the cost of the ticket to go from Bangkok to Hong Kong to Toronto, and then the $435. You can argue whether these are reasonable costs or not. We reimburse them. The point here is that the government lied. It's not the $3,200 that we spent to put them up at the Minto Suites Hotel. Very nice room, I gotta say, for that price. It's that they lied about it. They said there were no reimbursement costs, and then there it is, plain as day. The costs laid out in an expense claim form. By the way, look at this. He's claiming his address is 365 Laurier Avenue West. That would be the minister's office. Interesting. The Liberals know that their Achilles heel is being seen as dipping in at the trough. So why they're not being very careful with this, why they're not rejecting outrageous claims, why they're not being very upfront with all of this, I don't know. But this is just yet another example of how this will chip away at their armor. Conservative MP Michelle Rempel asked about this moments after getting the documents in question period. And look at the brash, arrogant answer from House Leader Bradish Chagar.
Mr. Speaker, we've just learned that it appears the Immigration Minister hid the cost of moving a senior Liberal staffer to Ottawa from Thailand. In an official response to Parliament, the Immigration Minister said no such expenses existed, but moments ago we received documents that tell us otherwise. So given that it seems that there's a bit of a pattern here with Liberal ministers feeling like they can hide expenses from Canadians, a very simple question. Are there any other Liberal ministers that want to come clean with these expenses?
House Leader.
Mr. Speaker, as has been said time and time again, there is a relocation policy that has been in place since the 1970s.
All she can do is say the rules were followed, and now we're changing the rules because the rules are no good. That's not good enough. The Liberals know that this is going to get them into a whole heap of hot water if they don't watch themselves. This is the type of thing that eventually ends a political honeymoon. That may be happening now thanks to their own missteps, their own miscues, their own arrogance at dipping at the trough, and now it turns out lying about it.
Thanks for watching. Click here to never miss a Rebel update. Want even more of the Rebel? Well, click here to become a premium member.